have everybody's attention now?
Rebel Radio.
Burn it down!
Rebel Radio presents the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Finally, The Rock has come back home.
ScottyVia brings you your new favorite pro wrestling podcast.
There is nothing you could do that is more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk.
He's got the latest in covering all of the major promotions in professional wrestling.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Breaking news and hot topics. He's covering everything from Monday night till Sunday night's main event.
I'm the hottest thing in professional wrestling. I'm Dr. Britt Baker.
And we never forget to go old school.
I was rowdy before rowdy was cool.
From the golden era.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
To the attitude era.
And if you're not done with that, then he's got 2 words for you.
To the revolution.
It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
And everything in between.
Super kick, hot tag!
This is your pro wrestling podcast. This is In My House.
Give me a hell yeah.
Welcome to my house, baby, take control.
Oh, welcome everyone to the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast. ScottyVia, Mike, UK Tom, we are back, guys. Oh man, it feels like it's been a couple weeks, but it's literally only been a week. And we all saw each other like 2 days ago. But I've been down to talk some pro wrestling with you guys. How's everyone doing?
I'm sad.
Why?
Retiring a truly great name.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Been a pretty heavy discussion about it, and
No longer a paralegal.
no, just Mike right now. But I'm sure something else will come up whenever it comes up, right?
You'll start seeing all the changes. It was a good run. We apologize. I apologize to all that may have been hurt by the incredible nickname I've had.
It was a solid run. Tom, if you have any words of remembrance. All right, great job, Tom. No, I'm just kidding.
Name would have flew at GCW. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Name would have been so much worse in GCW. Who, by the way, just announced their first show in Hawaii, so that's kind of cool.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here, Tom. They're going in the wrong direction for you, aren't
I
they?
know. I don't know how many times I can tweet Saskatchewan next and them ignore me.
Right? Well, we'll keep it up.
Yeah.
Mike, it's weird to just call you that now on the
I
show.
hate it.
Hey,
I absolutely hate it.
I like it.
Maybe throw it in the description here for the show. Once we post this, hey, we'll get a little GCW love out of it. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Come to Saskatchewan.
It would be crazy have they done any Canadian shows, Tom?
They've done Toronto, Montreal. So no.
Saw the basics.
Yeah, so no. No, they went to the one Canadian stop everyone makes.
Yeah. Great fun. Guys, it's been a week, but within that week, we got SmackDown and Backlash from Lyon, France. And for us here locally in the Queen City, we got another CWE show. And before we get into Backlash and SmackDown and all the fun that was, local wrestling is always a fun time. And Canadian Wrestling's Elite, I believe is what the full name is. Sorry, I butchered that there, Danny. Canadian Wrestling's Elite came through the Queen City again. They're on a Point to Prove tour right now with Savio Vega. And yeah, we had ourselves a little show here this past week, fellas. Tom, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of the show this week, Tom?
I always have a blast at CWE.
It's always a blast.
I could do without shows being on a Sunday because I'm old and tired. But It was great fun. A little bit of a smaller crowd than usual, but still loud. It was awesome to see Savio Vega, which that's my kind of thing. I thought it was fun. Real surprised he still hit his spin kick as good as he did.
He threw it good.
He did. And obviously it was great to see Big Chief. We love Big Chief.
Biggest baby face in the company.
In Regina. I gotta give it to Jimmy Jacobs and Josh Holiday. They had a good match. Levi Knight and Cash were they on last? I think they were.
They were, yeah. In the main event.
They had a hell of a fun main event. I kind of scoffed at it when they announced that it was Falls Count Anywhere, because I was like, where are you going to go? But in that little room, they had fun all over the venue, popcorn flying all over the place, drinks, Cash getting dropped on his head, which sounded real bad. And I got to give it to Levi Knight. We usually give him shit, to be fair. This more serious side of him, I'm into it. The match was great.
Oh, that's me. My turn.
Yeah,
I agree. I think leaning away more from the shticky kid stuff, which again, like it's your gimmick, is Disco Inferno, I suppose, is to do that. But when he comes out with some heat behind him, like I think he even knew, like the end, I'm like, it's a hell of a night of work, because he really did take a shit kicking majority of that thing.
Yeah, those chair shots.
Yeah. And I mean, using the plastic chairs too, like I think the first time I heard someone take one, I'm like, don't use those. It again was a fun night. I'm with Tom on the Sunday show as someone who's wildly hungover from Saturday. It's hard for me to have my energy up, but no, crowd's still good. Like I think Regina is always a great stop for CWE, and nothing spectacular card wise. Sure, Savio was there. Love to see him salsa dancing, because keep the kiddies happy, I suppose. I've never left a CWE show going, that was bad.
Yeah, that's never happened for any of us, as far as I know. Myself, really enjoyed the show. I'm going to jump in with you guys a little bit. Sunday night show just didn't help at all. I'm like you guys, I'm old, and the way my life is right now is I kind of have to do work every night before I go to bed, kind of thing. So, halfway through the show, I'm like, man, I'm having fun, but god damn it, I got to start thinking about the actual work I have to do to be ready to go for Monday. So that's not CWE's fault, but if it's on a Saturday night, I'm not thinking about that shit, right? So, but I'm gonna do my nitpicks now. I got a couple nitpicks, just a couple nitpicks, but then I'm gonna finish positive, because the nitpicks are literally that. They're just these tiny little nitpicks, and the positives are great. Tiny nitpick is, I wish there were some championships that we saw more regularly in Saskatchewan, even if they've got to create like a Western champion or whatever it may be. I think that would just help the excitement of the matches that we're seeing. I'm not saying anything bad about the matches that we saw, but a lot of times we just get match for the sake of a match. I think King Cash and Levi Knight was the only match that had a storyline leading over from the last tour that came through. So, which was great. I like that. Cool. We're getting a follow-up, which is great. But, I'd like to see a little bit more of that. We get that a lot in ringside wrestling, because they actually, they're local. So they're able to do shows each month that have storylines going through. CW only comes through once every 3-4 months, kind of thing, which is, I think, adds to the excitement. It makes it a little bit more special. But let's be honest, I'm a championship guy. I love championships. I love it when they change hands. I like tag team championship matches, mid cards, and world champions, or whatever it is. That's one tiny little nitpick that kind of just stuck out. I'm like, man, we haven't seen a championship here for a while. Usually Mentalo's coming through and he's got the title. I think we've seen Danny with the title before he got hurt, but we didn't really see any title changes. I don't think have we ever seen a title change in Regina?
The show you guys were at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The one time. Yeah.
So that's just a tiny little thing. I'm like, man, if if in a better world where there's more money and everything like that, I'm sure they could afford to make a buttload of championships for each region, kind of thing, right? But so that was kind of it.
Give them all the big chief.
That's right. My other tiny little nitpick is you brought in wrestlers for that 10-man tag that I don't think I've seen before in CWE, like Phil Deadly. I don't think I've seen him before in CWE. I apologize, Tom. You're a big fan of him now. I don't know his name. I referred to him as Dry Rub Doug, the butcher guy.
Rusty Blackwell.
Okay, yeah, I was close.
Dry Rub Doug. Dry Rub Doug.
I've never seen him before, but he wasn't really. He started the match, but he was eliminated pretty quickly. Phil Deadly was part of a count out, I believe. But they didn't get showcased as much as I was hoping. I'm like, oh, cool, new talent, but just didn't happen. Those are my only two nitpicks. My other little nitpick is for the crowd, and I'm even including myself in this. And it's going to turn into the positive now. I love seeing Jimmy Jacobs wrestle. We've seen him twice now in CWE that we've seen, and both times loved his matches. He's so much fun to watch, but there's no reaction. And I don't think it's because nobody knows who Jimmy Jacobs is. I don't think that's the case at all. I caught myself in the moment mentally giving other fans shit, but I wasn't cheering other because I was capturing it on my phone. I'm like, that's Jimmy fucking Jacobs, in Regina, in a CW ring in the Owl, right? So I'm part of the problem, but that's a nitpick for myself and fans just not getting into that moment kind of thing to see like a true legitimate great wrestler in front of us. Turning into the match that he had, I love the match. The fella Cheeks, I believe, was his opponent.
Yeah, Josh Holiday Cheeks.
I mean, poor man's scapegoat, if you ask me. But they had a great match. I don't understand the Cheeks thing. I've been thinking about it. It's got to be like a sentimental name, like maybe that was a nickname when he was a kid or something like that. Because other than that, it doesn't add up to me in my head.
What Cheeks?
Yeah,
like he just likes cheeks.
He likes slapping his own by the looks of it.
From what I'm aware of, it's kind of like his region's Levi Knight. It's for the kids.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's for the kids.
Hey kids, watch me slap my ass.
It worked for Rikishi.
Yeah, I mean, but look at Rikishi. He's actually got cheeks. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on the guy. Great match with Jimmy Jacobs and Cheeks. Really enjoyed it. It's great when we have a guy like Jimmy Jacobs come through that's a veteran in the ring that can still really go, committed to the character, works for AEW, I believe, as well currently. So the fact that he's even here is mind blowing. Love that bringing that in. Danny Duggan, did he open the show? Was he the opener?
Second
match. Hey, great job, Danny. There's nothing to like about Danny Duggan because he's a great heel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that entrance, if you're not into it, kills you. You hate it because he plays about 4 minutes of a song before he even comes out.
I love it. I love it
every time.
And the guy's coming out with a tan that would make Zack Ryder jealous. It's so damn good. I'm sure the guy's got to pay duty fees before he crosses the border into Canada. That's how good that tan is. But the guy knows how to work. Like, I don't know if enough people are giving Danny Duggan his flowers for its in-ring work because the guy is fantastic. He's so much fun to watch. He knows, in my shitty little wrestling fan opinion, the guy knows where to be at all times, knows when to break away, work the crowd, get out of the ring, and do heel shit. And it's such a pleasure to watch. It's great to see. So big fan of what Danny Duggan's doing. Love kind of cheering him, but halfway through I'll start booing him. I know we boo the good guys and cheer the heels a lot, but man, Danny Duggan, it's fun to boo that guy. It really, really is.
He's a hell of a worker.
Yeah, and I'm not booing that guy. I'm never booing that guy.
If you have the card there, Mike, what was the opener? Because I remember really enjoying the opener. Was that with the Lion King guy? And
that was Pumbaa versus Kamikaze.
Oh, right, there we go.
Guy's got Pumbaa on his trunks.
It was Pumbaa versus the dinosaur from Rugrats. That's right.
Reptar.
Yeah. My opinion, great way to start the show. Got the crowd going, got the kids going, lots of fun. I like the look of Mr. Sharp. Dude's jacked, and I feel like he's always knows where to be at the right time, kind of thing. And he's a fun heel for our kind of crowd. I kind of put him up there with a King Cash, where we'll cheer him, we'll boo him, whatever. He's still gonna say "fuck you" or give us a look or anything like that to just do his job, which is always great.
No chiz.
Oof, yeah, I didn't want to go negative, but there
I mean,
was some.
if I'm nitpicking,
The card's always subject to change, and we're aware of that. But man, none of us got chiz.
now, do you think Chiz worries? He's like, they're fucking up my gimmick.
Chiz is coming back under a mask for sure.
Like, lean into it, I say.
With just one stain on it. Let's be honest, guys. We were looking forward to seeing him, not only because we have a lot of fun cheering for him and doing some chants and stuff like that. Dude's a hell of a worker. Guy really brings it in the ring. And I don't know how, Tom, do you know how long he's been doing it for?
I don't.
He looks
I
so
don't
young.
know much about him.
Yeah, right. He looks so young. So it's like, how long has this guy been doing this? Because he's so much fun to watch. You put him up against like a Shawn Martins, who's a full blown heel when he's in that ring. Doesn't do anything that redeeming that would make you want to like him, which is what a heel does. And the Chiznator, Chad Daniels, I believe that's what his name is. He gets after it, and he pops the crowd. And I don't know, dude, you were missed this show here in Regina. So hopefully next tour you can make it on through. But guys, any other final thoughts on CWE from this past week?
Yeah, we need more dry rub Doug. Rusty Blackwell has to come back through. I don't think I have enjoyed. What was he even? Was he in the tag match for 4 minutes, maybe?
Oh,
if that.
I don't think I've enjoyed somebody's work in 4 minutes as much as I did his. And he's a bigger dude, and he was bumping like crazy. I want him back. He was awesome.
The second he hit came out of the curtain, you're like, yup, that's our guy now.
Also, Rusty Blackwell, fantastic wrestling name.
It really is. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, hopefully he's back. I don't know where he's from. Have you looked into him much, Tom, since?
Yeah, he's from Ontario somewhere. So he's he came through on the full tour with CWE this time, which
nice.
A lot of the guys outside of Shawn Martins and Danny Duggan, they don't tend to do the whole tour.
Yeah.
I just realized Easy Rider wasn't there.
Oh, that's right.
Sunday. Who was driving the truck?
Well, then there you have it for CWE Booker Man. Book Dry Rub Doug in a championship match. Strap him up with the Rocket. Send him on this way as well, because the guy's over on the In My House Pro Wrestling podcast. So I'd like to see more of him.
And that's the only thing that matters.
Yep, I agree. Fun show. Can't wait for them to announce the next show. I think Savio's going back for more of a tour again. D'Lo Brown is doing a tour in Ontario with them next. So if you're listening in that area, go buy some tickets, go watch a great pro wrestling show, and you'll get to see, maybe even meet D'Lo Brown from the Nation of Domination. So doing big things. Big things, Mike. Guys, local wrestling, so much fun. If you have a show in your area, go support it and have a blast. Don't sit on your hands. Make some noise, boo and cheer. Get the people beside you going too, because it's infectious when you do it. So go and have some fun at a local pro wrestling show. Speaking of pro wrestling and fun, guys, WWE Backlash from France this past Saturday, local time for us, 11 a.m. start time. It doesn't get much better than that. Boys, this was a show.
Oh, yeah.
Man. You know what I hate the most?
What's that?
I was talking to Scotty, and I was saying, man, France going to light a fire. Some of these audiences in North America. Fuck, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Jesus Christ. Monday couldn't have felt any more flat after something that energetic.
I forget where they were last night. Was it Hartford?
Yeah, it was Hartford.
Fuck Hartford. They should never go back there again.
It's
like
the fan base all watch the fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. Buy in and be loud. And again, the internet is always going to bitch. Me and Scotty talked about this too. They're like, yeah, it's their first show there. You're like, no. They're going to be that fucking loud. You do 10 shows there. They're showing out. Everyone now, wherever they're going international, they're doing it to get more fucking shows.
Yeah. And they're going to have that much fun too.
I spent 15 years going to shows all around Europe, and that is the reason I am deaf as a fucking post. It doesn't matter if it's the 100th time in that building or the first. It is so loud. And I've genuinely been to shows where there was 9 people in the crowd that made more noise than 12,000 people in Hartford last night.
That's insane to me. And it's insane too that this PLE, a small card, it's another fuck you to Tony Khan by showing that, hey, we can have a smaller card and still deliver quality entertainment.
Yeah, 5 matches.
5 matches.
There's only, I believe, approximately 11,000 people in that arena for that show.
You would think a whole hell of a lot more.
It sure sounded like it. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it with the hot opener. It's a great pick for the opener. It's Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. In a fun street fight. Guys.
It didn't start off that way, Mike. It was supposed to just be a regular tag team match, but the boys decided to start throwing knuckles before the match even started. Good old Nick Aldis comes out, though. Says, hello, mates. We're going to fire this bad boy right up. That's what I wanted.
No.
That's all I wanted.
Nope. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Hell of a way to start the show. All 4 of those guys kicked the shit out of each other. And what a great way to get Tama Tonga over in his first match. And Tama had his working boots on that night.
Yeah.
And like we talked about it at CWE, but that brainbuster he took from Kevin Owens through those chairs.
Oof.
A, that's a hell of a bump. And B, it's a hell of a bump that I never ever expected that Tama Tonga would take.
Like, on night 1, essentially, right?
The whole match was fantastic.
That spot in particular where WWE, like, I get it's a new era, but like that's fucking dangerous spot. Like a table maybe just because of the give, but those chairs is like, whoa, okay. That's either like we're just gonna do it, or the producers were like, yeah, fucking go for it. Like, is this what's happening to the Fed now? Like, is this the kind of work we can see on a PLE? Like, granted, we're not going to see this Monday nights. Like, I don't think we're going to see that caliber of thing happening on a Monday night, but that's a pretty huge spot.
Real big.
I think there's a lot more, hey, fuck it, let's do it, going on in WWE now than there has been in 20 years.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's that mentality of, all right, you want to do that? How do we do it as safe as possible? And they put out enough chairs to kind of break the fall. And then Kevin and Tama are responsible for taking care of themselves on that spot. So I like that. I think we've seen chair spots with Kevin Owens in the past, but maybe just because it's a new era, it hit that much better. The crowd reaction was amazing. The way that match ended up, just... Wow. It just, this whole Bloodline storyline continues to grow each and every week. Mike?
I hate how you fucking pitched it to me because it's so over where the Bloodline was going. Like, it was just getting stretched out. It felt like, I think it was good that Roman walked away, but every chance and every turn, they're just like, fuck you, Mike. We're going to keep it alive and we're going to keep this thing going. Yes, a new Bloodline member showed up. It was not Jacob Fatu.
What?
As everybody was thinking that's going to be who it is. Tonga Loa made his WWE debut by breaking up a pinfall, joining the new bloodline, the young bloodline. And I think it was done well again.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that they managed to keep that secret.
Yep.
Like, not only did they keep that secret, they got him to France without anybody knowing.
Which is wild.
That's probably easy if you're Tonga Loa.
I don't know. Like, it's easy to spot Solo Sikoa with his ramen noodles on his head hair, walking through an airport, and he's going to have Tama with him. So if there's another Samoan, I'm going to take a picture of that and post it on Twitter. Get
him there before, right? Send him before the show shows up.
Well, a lot of the fun was that I saw online afterwards was nobody knew that his New Japan deal was up. Like, you didn't see any of that. A lot of people were saying, well, we didn't know his New Japan deal was up. Great. We shouldn't know that shit. We really shouldn't. So it worked out perfectly for Tongaloa. And I'm going to guess 99% of our listeners know who Tongaloa is the brother of Tama Tonga. Both of them are sons of Haku. They were in New Japan Pro Wrestling as the Guerrillas of Destiny within the Bullet Club, which, little sidebar, I love the amount of former Bullet Club members that are in WWE right now.
Yep. Because
if they ever wanted to, and with the amount that they're talking about wrestling outside of WWE now and factions and what people have done outside of WWE, you could get something really fucking cool going if you really wanted to get all those guys together. So it's there. I don't know if they're going to do anything with it. I highly doubt it, but that cool factor could be saved for Bullet Club in WWE if they really wanted to do it.
I feel like something you do if you're like scraping for ideas. Theirs is just like, we'll make you a fucking star. We'll make you a star within our system. Go ahead, Tom.
I just had a fun idea.
Ooh.
It's the Royal Rumble, and they get to a spot where everybody in there is a former Bullet Club member.
Oh, yep. Do it. Paul, I know you're listening. Just write that down.
Like, even if it's just like 4 of them, if it's AJ, Tama, Tonga, I can't think of anyone else.
Well, Cody, you've got AJ, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. That's like 7 guys, 8 guys. How many fingers? 8 guys.
It's 8. This many.
If you could pull it off at least once where they're all in the same ring, even if it's not at a Rumble, but backstage or something like that, all of them just kind of crossing paths, you'd set the internet on fire of like, oh, what are you doing? And even if they didn't follow up with it at all for a while, it's a cool seed to plant. Or let's be honest, when certain other members' contracts start coming up elsewhere of former Bullet Club guys, that's a hell of a seed to plant too. But anyway, we should get back to Backlash here. Mike, who won that match?
Oh, so it's awesome you asked because only one of us picked it wrong. That's right. It was UK, Tom.
Yay.
Of course, the Bloodline.
I made a mistake.
Oh.
Yeah, you fucked up.
I fucked up too.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's perfect.
It's not perfect, actually. I thought that the Bloodline would get disqualified because I thought someone would interfere and cost the Bloodline the match. So I picked the RKO show.
Yeah,
so foolish. I got that wrong as well. Tom picked the no contest finish, which I really liked the idea. It didn't.
It was on the path to it.
It really was. But Mike got that one with the Bloodline pick.
That's right. Booker of the year. Moving on. Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Guys, WWE, whoever's in charge, careful with Tiffany Stratton. That could be a real fucking star for you. Let's not push to the moon right away, but that's going to be a really big fucking star for you.
Low burn.
I agree.
Don't rush that.
The one nitpick I would have of hers, which kind of annoyed me, is her doing at her entrance. She's almost too nonchalant. When she's just kind of half-assed pointing to her wrist saying Tiffy time as she's walking down their aisle, I'm like, either commit or don't do it kind of thing, right? Like, make it part of your appearance and entrance where you're being obnoxious and over the top, because that seems to be what her character is. But completely agree with you guys. She is one of the ones that I could see in a WrestleMania world title match for one of the women's titles. I think I even might have said it in the group chat, but I could see it being her and Bianca, or sorry, no, her and Jade at some point for a world championship. Those two could be the next two biggest stars for the women's division.
I really enjoyed this match. I thought all three ladies did a great job, despite the fact that the winner of this was never in any doubt. It was always going to be Bayley.
Yeah, and for a little while here. So if Bayley's booked, Bayley's going to be going over for the next little bit.
I had said this as well before in the group chat that it seemed like every match, every performer, competitor was trying to live up to the hype of the crowd that was happening right now. This match, I feel all three women really stepped it up more than anybody else in their match to try to meet the expectations of the fans in that arena, because the fans were going nuts for everything. And I think that made them perform better. So
I think in crowds like that too, like Naomi got a hell of a response.
yeah.
Like this is the kind of feeling you want when someone comes back. France did a great fucking job of like, yeah, we're here for everyone on the card. And again, yeah, like there was no shock that Bayley was going to go over here, but really great women's match.
We all picked Bayley.
Yeah. I mean, I know I did. Next up, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. Talk about fucking France losing their mind for someone.
This entrance is the perfect example of, all right, rest of the world, pay the fuck attention, because you gave Jey Uso probably his greatest entrance ever, easily as a singles guy. And then on Monday Night Raw, maybe 5% of those fans tried to replicate that with the cell phones in the darkness bouncing up and down. You guys fucking blew it. But anyway, great job again by Jey Uso and Damian Priest. ScottyVia nitpick, and I believe all three of us are going to say the same thing. Jey Uso needs to stop using the spear. Doesn't work.
I fucking hate it.
Well,
thank you.
I don't think he's going to stop using it.
But solid match.
Do it better then.
He won't. He's not gonna.
Some nicely planted seeds for more dissension within the Judgment Day, but Damian Priest gets the win despite the miscommunication with the two Judgment Day boys helping.
Don't worry, Finn Balor showed up, ate a super kick, so I was happy. Continue to be the loser we all know and love. Just love to see you get your ass kicked out there.
And every single time Michael Cole is like, JD McDonough's Klingon ass head.
Yeah.
Pops me every time.
It's weird when the card is so small, but like you felt already outside of Jey Uso's entrance that like once the match happened is where the crowd finally was like, okay, like this is maybe where we're taking our break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, it's helping Damian. I really hope they keep the strap on him for a good long while. Like make this run worth it.
I hope they start doing something with him, because outside of Backlash, if you didn't see, every time you see the guy, he doesn't have the title in the room. He's in the background. I don't like it. Anyway, go on.
They got the crowd back towards the end, and actually, It was a much better match than I expected.
Nice.
Well, you want to talk about a match that wasn't what we expected? It's Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Guys, it wasn't always great.
Hell of a finish.
It had a very good beginning, a fucking awful middle, and a great ending. And plus, they did the thing I said as soon as they booked Dave, so I'm happy.
Yeah, things got wonky with some miscommunication. I think what they would call a miss spot, and I'm guessing some greenness on Jade's side, and maybe some language barriers between the Kabuki Warriors and Jade. Got a little lost in the middle of that match, and it happens. It's whatever. I think the finish did a great enough job to overlook that, but it did happen. It kind of sucked, but that finish with Jade and Kairi Sane was just wild, to the point where I didn't want Bianca to do anything more after that. She hit the kiss of death afterwards, but the crowd was blowing up for what Jade Cargill did. I would have liked to have seen that be the final pin, but I think that will be part of the story with Jade and Bianca going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great they won here, so we can get them split and then have them wrestle each other.
Yep.
It's a great way to give Jade Cargill experience in a WWE ring against WWE wrestlers without her having to wrestle singles matches for a while.
Yeah, and to be fair, as a guy that's never stepped in the ring before, so my opinion really doesn't matter. But I'm gonna say it anyway. Jade needs the reps in the ring in front of crowds. But we all picked those two to win the new women's tag team titles.
And finally, ScottyVia's favorite, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus AJ Styles. Guys, I will say, this did deliver.
Ooh, did it ever?
Like I said, the build was something I was not sold on, but when, like I said, when they got in the ring, I was like, oh yeah, this is really going to happen. And I really enjoyed it. I thought these guys were great. I think AJ is just incredible athlete. I still hate the Cody Cutter. I fucking hate the Cody Cutter. I think it is awful. He looks bad doing it. That top rope one, I was like, someone's hurt. Like, like this is not good. But still, like, this is the kind of matchups Cody Rhodes needs to be having going forward.
Agreed. Even before these guys even got in the ring, the crowd was wild with the chanting and the singing, which just helped this match out so much more. And I honestly felt like I was watching a Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect match from like 93. I love this match so much because it was a great wrestling match. AJ just got to be AJ. Cody just got to be Cody. They did the job. They told the story. Great false finishes. A lot of it was stiff. We saw a burning hammer. Guys, love this match.
The thing for me was this match went 27 minutes and it felt like 10. The whole thing flew by. The crowd going nuts for both AJ and Cody Rhodes. Side note, fuck Def Rebel for that music. But the crowd singing Cody Rhodes' entrance theme like they did the whole thing was fantastic. Very, very good main event for Backlash.
The crowd chanting the phenomenal chant for AJ Styles, it's still stuck in my head.
Yeah.
It is so damn good, to the point where AJ even had to tweet it out. He's like, look, I know I'm a bad guy, but basically thank you for that. So guys, phenomenal Backlash. 5 matches, a little over 3 hours. It was perfect. It really, really was. So I would bitch and complain about the big breaks in between the matches because of the Peacock deal and they've got to play ads and spots and whatnot. Didn't care this time. It worked in my favor for whatever reason. It just did. So really enjoyed Backlash. I can't wait for, is it Money in the Bank after the Saudi show?
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for. Toronto crowd, Canadian crowd should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they said tickets are moving very fast for Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Speaking of fast, guys, time flew by here on the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast. We got a skedaddle.
Holy shit.
As always, hit us up on our socials at In My House Pod, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Send us a message. Let us know what you like, don't like. Make sure you hit the share button as well wherever you see this. Post it on your socials. Let's get the word out on the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast. For UK Tom, for Mike, and for ScottyVia. This has been the In My House Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go out. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house.
It's my house. Yowie wowie.